Hey everyone, we're back with another debate. Hey Omar, hey Yara.
Hi, how's it going?
Hi Omar. Hi Omar.
Welcome to the summer. Yara بتكلمنا من الساحل direct. وانا كمان في الساحل بس Yara is very evidently so في الساحل. I would hope that the wind and Omar is just being jealous back in Austin. It's time for the West to be jealous of people in Egypt finally. So today we have a very exciting topic about data science, and as we see more hospitals invest in infrastructure, more people talking about data science is being leveraged in healthcare in so many ways. And so my question for the topic today is, will data science play a huge role in healthcare in the Middle East within the next year or two? And so please answer with a yes or no. And if you think yes, please tell us which areas do you think are the hottest? And we'll start with Omar Zeki.
So I think it will play.
Yara, please give us 1 minute.
I don't think it'll play, too major of a role, because I think, as I've mentioned before, that to be able to effectively use data science, you have to have data. And I think that we're still, figuring that out in markets like Egypt and other parts of the Middle East, where, we just don't have the appropriate infrastructure in place to collect the data and to then be able to do anything with the data. So I think that's something that's improving, and we're getting better at that. And I think there's going to be some, interesting ways that we'll have better data gathering capabilities to leverage data science. But I do think it will make an impact on healthcare and on the systems and the patients over the next 5 to 10 years.
Thanks. I think you summed that up really nicely with time to spare.
A little too quick, maybe.
Okay, Yara, ready for a new minute? And I'll pass the mic on to you. Please start the timer and give us your argument.
Yeah, well, I actually do agree with Omar. I do think that data science will definitely play a role in the long term, yet not necessarily within the next 20 playing a role. And Egypt is doing a lot of effort in collecting data, starting like from when there was the hepatitis C program, and when there was the NCD program, they were and the government was sorry guys, I'm passive here now. Was collecting a lot of data on basic information. And also when it comes to precision medicine, there are also a lot of initiatives on using data analytics for precision medicine in the Middle East, yet not in the next 1 to 2 years though. And I stop with that. Omar Shaker, what about you?
Yeah, thank you, Yara. So I think you are both right when it comes to infrastructure or major changes that we see with data science, but I still want to say yes, because I see a lot of initiative when it comes to startups that have been collecting data over the past 5 years or so. In my last interview with Udewi, for instance, they have a lot of data that they've been collecting. I'd be interested to see other players such as Tabibi, Al Munir, Visita, AXA One Health, like all these people that have been in the market for a few years and have been very focused on digital. I think that we will start seeing use cases for predictive analytics to help them understand things like their utilization, things like for startups, what kind of services they can offer next, and understanding things like user behavior. But I do think you guys are right when it comes to the bigger scope of things. But I'll also say yes, because of the at least in Egypt's case, with the insurance, with universal health insurance being such a major thing that's coming up, and we know that Port Said already has also like this HMS system. So I'm curious to see what will happen with that data, and also like a hospital like Cleopatra that has been collecting data for 2 years now. What are they going to do with all of that? I'm sure they're thinking of data science. So I think we'll start at least seeing these use cases, because we're seeing some of these data plays also in other industries, So that's my take. I say yes, it'll start playing a big role. And I wonder, whether you guys agree with me on the micro scale, or if you have changed your mind. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I think you've been pretty convincing today. I think, yeah, I am changing my mind. And you kind of reminded me of like the amount of data that is being collected by the startups. And you also have Al-Tibbi who've published a few scientific articles using the data that they've been collecting. So yeah, while I was trying to think on a macro scale and the complications of it, but on a micro scale, I think there are much more opportunities. Yeah, I do. But I think there is one challenge, and I don't know if you might have an answer to that, which is like the workforce. So data scientists within the region who are able to actually work on that data. So well, the first challenge I was thinking of is the availability of data, but then yeah, that now we're collecting data. What about data scientists? I don't know, Omar Shekar, that's for you. You're the yes guy.
I think you're on point there. I think it's hard enough to find developers and techies, and I wonder if data science is becoming a hot thing. But I know that a company like Vodafone, for instance, has a lot of these capabilities. But I wonder if they're going to be accessible for people that are running startups. And in our survey that we do every year, Yara, there's been I think data analytics is the third most demanded job when it comes to recruitment by these startups. So it shows that there's a demand from these healthcare startups already. They're thinking of it. It comes right after software engineers and business people, data analytics and AI, and then physicians. So I think there's going to be that demand. I wonder if we're going to start seeing like bootcamp programs that bring out more and more of these ones. But I'm going to also point to Omar Zaki to that question, because from a global perspective, do you think we can leverage different areas and different, so when we're talking about data science, if we don't have these capabilities in Egypt or in Kenya or somewhere where there is the money, there's the funding and there's the need, but we don't have those, what are your thoughts on like some of the bridges that we can build between us and the rest of the world?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. But I would still say that I think the talent pool in Egypt, especially around the skill sets for analytics and data science, exists. I think they just don't have enough opportunities to be filling those positions. And I do agree with both of you. From a micro scale, some of these early stage startups and businesses that are doing data collection and gathering are doing it sector on a micro scale. It doesn't actually impact the whole system in the same way, and it creates lots of different disparate methodologies and frameworks and protocols. And I think that this is, again, we can talk about it maybe in the next debate, my push for the government's responsibility here, right? They need to be the ones who are setting the stage, who are creating the right regulatory framework to set what those protocols are for real interoperability, because then you'll see the impact to the system, right? And the ability to leverage the data the right way. I think that, again, there's opportunities to connect with different, let's say, established ecosystems that have deployed some of these platforms and technologies and have learned the hard lessons so that it becomes, an easier pathway. There's again, lessons learned just from here in the US and the way that EMRs were implemented over the past 10 years. And now all the issues that are, being presented because they were built basically off of billing systems, and they were built to be billing systems, and the doctors hate them and the nurses hate them. And, it's creating this whole disaster situation. So those are things I think are opportunities for us in the Middle East to learn from. We just need to be proactive about partnering with the right people and establishing a proactive plan to build, the next stage of what a real data infrastructure and digital infrastructure looks like.
Very well said, man. And I'm excited to talk more about that. Yara, why don't you give us your final vote after you've heard these arguments, so that we can wrap this debate, and then we're going to announce what we're going to talk about next.
Pressure's on, Yara.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I've been like looking at the reactions now, trying to find like a maybe. That's why I did like the half moons that you saw. So this is like okay. I got pressured again by Omar Zaki's response. So I don't know.
All
Like
right,
do I
all
have to
right.
choose? Now I have the option.
We have a moon. All right, let's smile for the photo. All right, nice. I like that. Omar Zaki, well, why don't you tell us what we're going to be talking about next time? Give our audience a teaser here.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to explore that a little bit further, you know, what it means to build, to do digital transformation and to really build digital infrastructure and to prepare, you know, our market for the next wave of, you know, real healthcare needs and how that should be addressed and how the private sector and the government should be working together.
Awesome. That's, I think, the topic of the hour. And there's a lot of business vitality and viability around that too. So I'm excited for that. Thank you guys for another awesome debate. And I look forward to the next one.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys.
Talk to you guys soon. Enjoy ساحل.
Yeah. الهوا وقف دلوقتي بعد.
After recording طيب عمر recording